Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of Recruit Military Live, where we will be discussing the power, the importance of mentorship. Our guest today is the Vice President of Military Engagement for American Corporate Partners and has been assisting transitioning service members and spouses in developing post-military careers for 15 years. As a military spouse of 27 years, she understands the unique challenges of being a military spouse and is passionate about empowering others to find and grow great careers. She holds a master's degree in business administration from Texas A&M University Commerce and has been awarded for her volunteerism with the Meritorious Public Service Medal, Commander's Award for Public Service, Civilian Volunteer of the Year, and amongst many others. Her husband has been serving for 29 years in the U.S. Army. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Miss Leslie Coffey. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Gabby. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you again for joining us. Glad to hear that you're staying warm in your area.
Yes, it's definitely sweater weather these days.
Yeah, completely knitted today. And I'm in Arizona, so probably, like the least cold part of the country right now.
Right.
Well, thank you for joining us today on, speaking on a very important topic that, not a lot of members of the military community may be aware even exists. So you are with American Corporate Partners. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your role and also about the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. So my role is essentially to spread the good news. I'm like a soccer mom with a loud megaphone on the hilltop. Which fits because I am that. But ACP, what we do is we provide customized mentorships on a one-to-one basis. So it's one mentor to one veteran or one mentor to one military spouse over the course of a year. And it's all about helping them figure out what they want to do next and how to get there. And you're learning from somebody that has years of experience in that space that you're looking to go into next. So kind of like, a lot of career exploration and we focus on meaningful employment.
Fantastic. And I know you mentioned, during our previous discussions that you have, over 120 different partners?
Yes. Our mentors actually come from our partner companies. The vast majority of them, we do have 120 partner companies. Some of the, Fortune 100, such as your Amazons and your Johnson & Johnson, Disney, NASCAR, Lockheed Martin, your typical Raytheon, RTX, lots of places that they come from.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's, we love to hear that because whenever someone hears those bigger names, of course, they're immediately drawn and attracted to that. But specifically, what is it about ACP that differentiates you guys from all the other mentorship programs? Everyone has their unique thing. What is it about you guys that makes you special?
Well, for us, it's all about the human touch and the customization. So we recognize that everybody's in a different life. Everybody has different goals and their journey is unique. And so we concentrate our process specifically to that individual and their goals. And how we go about finding a mentor is actually a human. A human does the search. It's like you're having your own agent going on the search for you. So we get you on the phone. We listen to what your goals are, what your interests, even your hobbies. We take all that into account, including your personality. And then we go on the hunt. Once we find a mentor, then we present them, and then you let us know if we got it right or if we missed the mark and we need to keep looking. So it's not supply. We're not issuing a mentor. What's most important is that you fought for the freedom. You get to choose, and then from there, you do have that accountability partner that's there with you every step of the way as well. So ACP, even once we introduce you to a mentor, you don't have to, we don't just forget about you. We actually check in every month to make sure you're staying on track, meeting your goals.
And then, that goes perfectly with Cornelia's question here, how to get an ACP mentor. So say, it's stepping stone one. What's the very first step? How do you get in contact with ACP? How do you get that process started?
Yes. So the very first step is to complete an application. Our website is acp-usa.org, and there will be a red button that says apply now. And you just apply and you kind of tell us what what your goals are. If you're undecided, that is okay. Our mentors are accustomed to helping you figure out what the next step looks like for you, where you might be a best fit, where your strengths may lie. So, 86% of those coming to us are not decided on their career plan. So we get it. You're not alone if that's your case. We just want to know what interests you, what some of your top goals are. And then we actually are going to reach out to you within a day. We're going to get you on the phone and we're going to ask, those questions, and then we'll figure it out together.
We love that quick turnaround too, because there's nothing more than, even if certain organizations do have that human touch where they will eventually be speaking to a human, sometimes it's that hurry up and wait game that everyone in the military community is so used to. But the fact that you do have such a quick turnaround, and understand the importance of getting back to our military community in such an important topic really does make a difference. Now, when it comes to mentioning aligning what your goals will be with what specific mentor, what industry, what should members of the military community who are looking to work with ACP, what should they come prepared with when it comes to, filling out an application? What should they have ready so that they can already come with ammunition to find out what the best partnership would be?
Yeah, so I would say, if you do a little bit of self-awareness, that helps. Like, are you a little bit more of an extrovert or an introvert? And what type of personality would you best align with? Would you prefer someone that is the same kind of like same ethnic background, same gender, or would you like somebody that's former service? Or perhaps you're like, hey, I want somebody that's no exposure to the military, a total different perspective, differentiation of thought. Then when you think through that, so maybe some self reflection, then we can identify who might be a best fit for you.
Fantastic. And so when it comes to, a lot of people may not be aware that they're even eligible for a program with American Corporate Partners. What is the eligibility for ACP?
Yes. So any veteran that has served at least 180 days post 9/11. So it's going to be active duty, Coast Guard, National Guard, Reserves, Space Force, anybody that has 180 days of service post 9/11. So even if it was 20 years ago, we can still assess. For our spouses, it's going to be active duty spouses, surviving or Gold Star spouses, or spouses of disabled post 9/11 veterans.
Fantastic. Yeah. So anyone that's watching, this isn't, a lot of individuals seem to think that, or we constantly get the question like, oh, is this only for active duty? Is this, oh, you have to be, currently serving in the military? You do not. So please don't miss and pass up on this opportunity because you think you're not eligible. Even if you're unaware, always go and ask the question. The worst they can say is unfortunately no, but please, go ahead. So when it comes to ACP, we know that, you do a phenomenal job in working one-on-one with these military community members on finding a mentor for them. But I know you also offer quite a bit of other networking possibilities, events, symposiums. So do you want to dive into more outside of just the partnership or the mentorship, what all ACP has to offer for the military community?
Well, the phenomenal thing about the networking opportunities is you actually don't even have to be a protege. Anybody can take advantage.
Oh, wow.
So we go live with our partner companies twice a week. So for example, Home Depot or Visa is coming up, and they're going to talk to you about what their culture is like on the inside, how to get hired, what they're currently looking for, how they've gotten promoted. Typically, it is a veteran within the company. A lot of times it's the director of human resources or somebody in talent acquisition and recruiting. A lot of times it is a team from within inside. For like Major League Baseball, it's going to be veterans and their HR people that talk about how to get hired within Major League Baseball, what different career opportunities are in there, because newsflash, you don't have to be just a professional baseball player to work for them, right? So you're learning about positions that you may not even be aware existed without tuning in and listening. So it's every Tuesday and Thursday at 1:00. They go live, and we also have a podcast that they can tune into for the Veterans Career Compass, and they can again listen to how to get hired within our corporate partners. Now for the symposium, what's unique about those, it is a few of our partners that will come together and they talk about specific type of positions. So for example, a project management symposium is coming up next week. And then we've had IT symposiums or HR symposiums. So he's talking about specific career paths, but within multiple companies and how to get hired in those career paths.
And that's fantastic, especially getting to hear from a multitude of companies and organizations, what their hiring methods are, what they're specifically looking for within that industry. So this all sounds like amazing information that is, free and open to the military community. And I see an amazing comment here from Miss Lindsay. She said that you actually spoke with the Onward to Opportunity cohort in Florida a few weeks ago and inspired her to reach out, get a mentor. She's already been paired, started working with them and really enjoying the process and the mentor that she was paired with. So congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Lindsay. We're so excited for you. We're glad to hear that the process was very successful for you. And, it's those accounts right there that, give you that instant gratification. We're like, we promise, like the process works if you stick with it. And in your opinion, what does the difference of having, so many people may be, may have a sense of pride or just feel like they want to, do something on their own and prove it to themselves. What is it about having a mentor that you feel can really make a difference between, going about the transition process or even already being out and being a veteran for many years, being a military spouse? What is the difference between having a mentor lead you and guide you through that process, that transition, versus not having one and just going about it, on your own?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know what we don't know. So learn from somebody that has been there, that is a season or two ahead of you, that has the experiences, that's made the failures, that's made the mistakes, and can kind of keep you from them. We just had, yesterday I was speaking with a woman veteran who has a high school diploma. She got as an E5 and she's working with her mentor who is a systems admin at MasterCard. And he's got her an internship as well as helped her to study and pass some really critical cybersecurity certifications. And now, because she's gotten this internship and has afforded a job opportunity, now they're working on salary negotiation together. Now you think about this is a woman veteran, E5 with a high school diploma, and she is well on her way because she had this mentor that could show her the ropes without, without going through high school or something like that.
Exactly. And that's, Jennifer, I think we just kind of touched on this. How can I benefit from a mentor? And you said exactly what was on my mind, because it was one of the first things that I heard of actually when I joined RecruitMilitary, is because I had no idea RecruitMilitary, an organization like this with the resources it has, even existed. And one of the VPs here mentioned on a one-on-one that, you just, at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. And our job here is to, bring exposure to organizations like RecruitMilitary, like ACP, because we're out there, we're living our own lives. We're trying to, get through a transition process, a very big change in our lives. And there's also just like a smorgasbord of all these resources being thrown your way. You're going through, TRS, you're being told, do this, do that, but you don't know what works for you. And you don't know if it's a good fit. So I'm so glad that you touched on, you don't know what you don't know, because a mentor who's been in your shoes, who you can relate to, who understands you, can really, not only help guide you, but relate to you so much to where you are able to trust them a bit more initially than you would with, any ordinary program.
Well, and what sets us apart is that it is a one-to-one basis. So it's one mentor to one veteran for a year. So you have somebody there to walk that journey, to explore all the resources with you, to vet them along with you, and also to be an accountability partner, but also be like your personal hype man,
exactly. Yeah.
For spouses, confidence is huge what they get from their mentorship. When they first come in, this is exactly what perfect timing. When they're first coming in, we ask them, how confident are you in your career path? And 29% before the mentorship are confident, but after working with their mentor for a year, you see it jumps to 87%.
That's fantastic. And I really do believe, because that mentor has instilled in them that confidence. They have a stronger understanding of what they bring to the table, of what
Correct.
the industry is that they're, transitioning into. There's also, again, you don't know what you don't know. There's so many different, certifications, different programs, different resources out there that these mentors have been exposed to, have gone through themselves, or are aware of, that, you yourself may have zero idea about. So gaining all of that knowledge, all of that understanding from that mentor can make, obviously, a world of difference, nearly 3 times the amount, over. And, we're getting quite a bit of engagement today. And I'm really excited about that, because that shows so much excitement about this program. And someone here mentioned that, can a veteran who is currently working still participate in ACP? So if they are currently employed.
Yes, absolutely. So that's a phenomenal question. So oftentimes we have veterans that have been out 10 or 15 years. They're stagnant. They're frustrated not getting that promotion. They come and get a mentor to work on that promotion, or even pivoting. Sometimes it's like, I've been out a few years. I've tried a couple of things on my own. They're not great fits. So I'm looking to pivot, and they come to get a mentor to do just that.
Fantastic. And we do have, I'm not sure if this applies, but we do have a LinkedIn user asking how they can volunteer, as they feel like they have a lot to offer and have been in coaching groups on their job skills, and also with 25 years of IT experience. So if you're looking, when it comes to, not on the applicant side for wanting a mentor, but being a mentor, is that something that you guys are currently looking for?
I will tell you, our IT mentors are the most in demand. So there's definitely always a need. We would love to have your experience and have you pour into a veteran or a spouse for 1 hour a month. On our website at acp-usa.org, there's a mentor application, and you can start the process there. We'll reach out within a day and start the conversation. You can let us know what you're comfortable in mentoring on, and we can go from there.
Fantastic. And I know we've had a few of our audience members join a little late. Now, when it comes to American Corporate Partners, what is the eligibility once more, and that process for applying? Because I know we have a few, that mentioned, like, if you're working in a veteran, can you apply? If you're, or how early, how late can they join the process? Do they have to, currently still be active?
So anybody that has served at least 180 days post 9/11, so whether you got out 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you are eligible. If you're currently serving, I would recommend probably no more than a year out from terminal. And that's just because it's a year-long process. So you'll still have your mentor for salary negotiation, because of course you can start a position during terminal, and you can kind of double dip, if you will. But I would start probably within that window. If you're already within that window, then today is going to be the day that I would recommend.
Fantastic. And I know, personally myself, I know at least one individual who was someone that I actually worked with. And I believe we now work both for RecruitMilitary, and I believe he went through the ACP partnership program. And I believe it was through that program that he was placed here. Do you get to hear many, I'm not sure in your position, but do you get to hear many success stories from proteges, from individuals who've gone through the program? And, we're hearing some in the comments about how they're going through the mentorship program right now and loving the process. Do you get to hear much of that?
Absolutely. So those are my favorite. We always love to share successes, and we get them every single week. We currently have 5,000 in our program. So if you can imagine all the successes that we do here. For me personally, I benefited from a mentor 5 years ago. I was stationed in the Mojave Desert in National Training Center in California. And the result of my mentorship was a 67% increase in pay. So, that's one success story, and that's the whole reason that I joined the team.
That's fantastic. And I do know that, with all of the networking opportunities and symposiums, we did have a user ask, are the symposiums that you offer, any of the networking opportunities, are they virtual? Do you have virtual options?
Yes, not only are they virtual, but even if you're not able to attend live at 1:00 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, all of them are recorded. So the beautiful thing about the recordings on our events page of our website is that you can go in, you could, look through, maybe you want the IT symposium, and then there's a PDF of resources shared live. So whether it's their LinkedIn URL, their email, their hiring page, anything that was shared, maybe it was free certification links, or maybe it was certain books that they recommend. Whatever was shared during the conversation live, it's going to be on that PDF resource. So we recognize that a lot of us are working at 1:00 on Tuesdays and Thursdays Eastern, and that's okay. That's why you can go through and you can watch. And I'll tell you, Gabby, one of my all-time favorite events that we had with Unilever, this veteran, I didn't even know this position existed. Otherwise, I would have been going for it. But he was a logistician in the military, and now he's the director of ice cream planning for Unilever. He tastes every Ben and Jerry's. He tastes every Ben and Jerry's before it hits the market. Like, where was that job? I need it.
If you need an intern. I have a job and I'm very happy, but I'm open to doing some side work. I love hobbies. So
you knew that was a job, but these are the kind of things you find out from these events.
And I know this was something that you mentioned, on our 101 earlier, but you mentioned, industries like, or, employers like Home Depot. You would have no idea that they have such a strong need and desire for hiring within the IT community. Because we all, we think of Home Depot, or we think like logistics, or, labor, more hands-on, more, like forklift, certified heavy machine operators type of things. You don't think, oh, they have a whole entire, IT networking, because you mentioned, how their app is run, their online store and all of that. So it's things like that you have no idea. And you don't know.
Software developers, cybersecurity, you name it. They're because they need people to run their shopping app. It's not something that they outsource.
It's not an external client that runs it for them. It's all internal. So, and you mentioned, is it 120, right? Partners that you
right about them.
The Fortune 100 organizations. So these are, these are your home brand names that everyone knows that, you would be very excited to work with. And how have you gotten feedback, I'm assuming so, from the partners, the organizations that you work with? How is it for them to go through this program? Like, what are they getting from it? Getting to work with the military community and serving as a partner to them?
Well, for as satisfied as our proteges are coming through, our mentors actually say that they have a 99% satisfaction rate. So we have some partners that have actually been with us all 15 years. They've been going, and we have so many mentors that are multi-time over. They wrap up one mentorship for a year and they just love the experience. So they'll sign up and they'll do it again, which we're very, very grateful for. I'm actually a mentor, and my protege, we just had our first meeting a couple weeks ago, and I can tell you, to see the epiphanies and things that she did, she never thought of in a different perspective, is so fulfilling to think that I may have experiences that will add value to her life.
That's phenomenal to hear. And I just I'm, in retrospect, I'm thinking back to my process, which was very interesting time. I had gotten out 3 months after having my second child, and it was the end of 2019. So a couple months later, we were hit by COVID, and it was literally just like the grace of God and internal networking within my MOS before I had gotten out, that I got placed into a contract position right back on the base that I had just gotten out of. But I can only imagine, given, take COVID out of, because that's just a very unique situation, given having a mentor, or having had one 6 months to a year out, being able to guide me through that process, I can only imagine how much more like at ease I would have been, and how much less stressful and less anxiety I would have had going through that process. So if there's anyone that really, is scratching their head, really not, halfway considering, like, there's literally no cons to this process. It sounds like
it's free.
And it's free, besides just your time and putting in the effort and putting in the work with your mentor. It's a free, outstanding, amazing program that from both, the mentors and the proteges, there seems to be a very good success and approval rate of. Let's see here. It looks like we got another question. Are there companies looking for EHS or safety professionals? I'm not too sure. when it comes?
So yes, so we do have a LinkedIn group that's called ACP Connects, and
Mm.
that's where all of our corporate partners actually will post their current job openings and what they're looking for. So you can go through, you can join that group. You don't even have to be a protege. But if you do want to apply for a mentor, then you tell them, hey, I'm really interested in working with somebody that has experience in safety. I mean, actually, it's interesting. FEMA is a big partner of ours. So we have a lot of FEMA mentors, but all of the companies, with the logos that you saw, of course, they're all going to have safety as a position in those companies. It doesn't matter if it is academia or financial services, logistics, CSX, all of these companies are going to have those positions.
And that goes more into you don't know what you don't know. And you didn't mention, what was the LinkedIn group called?
ACP Connects.
ACP
And
Connects.
essentially, it's us connecting those in our community with opportunities.
Fantastic. And that, that's something that I didn't even know going into here. So that's just another amazing resource that you guys provide for our military community that just helps them find those meaningful careers. Because we all know that when it comes time to transition, we're so anxious and we're so scared that maybe we won't be so successful during that transition that we may grab at the first opportunity that we get, and it may not be the best fit, or it's just a means to an end at that point, just to just to keep the truck moving along the track. And
Yeah,
what I
I'm
love
so
so much about
glad.
EPP is you focus on meaningful careers, like that perfect match.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, because we're the one organization that actually checks back with all of our alumni every other year. We check in, and 85% of those that come through our program a year later are still in that same job. And it's really the mentor helping to identify the right path, the right culture, the right level, so that you do have that meaningful employment and you stay. That's why the retention is so high.
Exactly. And I really, with this, the world going more into AI and chat GPT, it's, I think, a natural, people are naturally scared or just anxious that they're not really talking to someone real, and their concerns aren't really being taken seriously. And that is not the case with ACP. You're talking to a real human who's getting down to brass tacks and understanding, who you are, what you want, and where you want to be. And I think that makes just the biggest difference to our military community.
And they're checking in on you. We understand life gets busy. You're doing all the things, it's holidays, or you're PCSing or whatever. And we're saying a little reminder, hey, we're still working on that goal. And it's just like, oh, yes. That's what I hear so frequently. It's like, oh, I'm so glad you guys keep me on track, because it's easy to just get off track. And, so I know that accountability is coming. I know that little nudge and that question is coming. So I'm making sure that I'm doing the things.
Yes, accountability. And it's a big thing in the military community is that accountability. You're preached it, over accountability of yourself, over your gear, over your, fellow soldiers, Marines, airmen, what have you. So it's awesome to transition and to have a mentor who still brings that accountability, even when, you transitioned out. You're like, oh yeah, I still gotta hold myself accountable to A, B, and C. Well, that looks like it's about wrapping up. I didn't know if there was anything that we missed that you wanted to bring to the attention of our audience. We've provided so many amazing resources and information that hopefully they found useful. We'll be dropping any important links in the comments also if anyone missed anything. But is there anything else that you'd like to say to our audience?
Yeah, I would say, whether you're a military spouse or a transitioning service member or a veteran that's been out, please don't think you have to go on this journey alone. You are worthy. I know when I came through, I actually paused some of my meetings because I thought I'd be wasting their time, and that's absolutely not the case. So we only give them one person to focus on. You're worthy. You're not wasting their time. Just give us a chance, and we're happy to have those conversations.
Thank you so much for saying that, because, when it comes to the military community, we're so used to the mission first, putting everyone else before ourselves. And it's nice to be reminded that you matter, like your wants, your needs, your goals matter at the end of the day. And when you get out, it's about you, it's about your family. So please start to put yourself first. So thank you so much for that reminder. Thank you for continuing to serve the military community. Thank you for being a military spouse for, I think it was over 29 years now. And thank you for everything you'll continue to do. And we hope to speak to you again. And thank you everyone for joining us for today's episode of Recruit Military Live. And we will see you next time.